guest on the show. That would be great.
Sir, that would be awesome.
Shake, rattle, and roll. And congratulations to volleyball. We'll find out live from New Media Studio here at beautiful Valley High School. This is Falcon Flash. All right, good morning, students and staff. Today is Thursday, October 17th. We're so glad to be back on the air. I know you're glad to be back in class like normal. Today's patriotic observance will cover the Saratoga campaign from the American Revolution. It was on October 17th, 1777, that the campaign was launched by the British in an attempt to gain military control of the Hudson River Valley during the American Revolutionary War. It ended in the surrender of the Army, spoiler alert, which is considered the turning point of the war. The American victory was an enormous morale boost to the fledgling nation. More importantly, it convinced France, ooh la la, to enter the war in alliance with the United States. Alliance, I believe they would say. Alliance. Openly providing money, soldiers, and munitions, as well as fighting a naval war worldwide against Britain. Let's see how it all played out.
The Patriot victories at Trenton and Princeton stung the British, but they were still confident of success. British officers worked out a detailed plan for 1777, which they believed would lead them to victory. What did this plan entail? The plan involved 3 separate British armies and perfect timing. Johnny Burgoyne would lead 8,000 troops from Canada, while a separate force under Barry St. Leger would move east from Ontario. The third group, General Howe's main army, would move north from New York City. The 3 British armies would converge at Albany, cut off New England from the other colonies, and destroy the Patriot Army. From the outset, the British plan began to unravel. Howe never committed to the plan, focusing instead on capturing the Patriot capital of Philadelphia, which he did in September of 1777. Rather than moving north to join Burgoyne, Howe camped his army in Philadelphia for the winter. The second British force, under Barry St. Leger, was turned back by Patriot forces under the command of Benedict Arnold. This left Burgoyne's army plodding along through the dense New York forest all alone. He managed to recapture Fort Ticonderoga, but trouble soon followed. Loaded down with 30 extra wagons to support his lavish lifestyle, his army moved at a lagging pace. His soldiers, in their bright red uniforms, also became an easy target for colonists who tormented his movements. In need of food and supplies, Burgoyne retreated towards Saratoga, New York. While Burgoyne sat back, awaiting the arrival of the British armies, American troops under the command of Horatio Gates and Benedict Arnold closed in around them. Realizing he was about to be trapped, Burgoyne launched a devastating attack that resulted in some of the most intense fighting of the war. While the Americans were driven back, Burgoyne's situation only worsened as colonial militia closed in behind his army, severing the supply lines. After 17 days of the 2 armies staring each other down, the real fighting at Saratoga began with a desperate British attempt to break through the American lines. Defying orders from General Gates, Benedict Arnold seized control and led an assault on the exposed British camp. Shouting, "Victory or death!" Arnold led the Patriots forward as they crushed through the British lines, sending Burgoyne running off the battlefield with bullet holes in his hat and jacket, his horse having been shot out from beneath him. The attack let up only after Arnold lay on a stretcher, a bullet having crushed through the same leg that had been wounded in the assault on Quebec. With no other options, the British began their retreat. After marching less than 8 miles in 24 hours, they found their escape route cut off by New Hampshire militia. On October 17, 1777, for the first time, an entire army of British soldiers surrendered to an American army. The Battle of Saratoga is seen as the turning point of the Revolutionary War. Thus, it is quite possibly the most important battle of the war.
Washington, Washington. Well done, man. Therefore, that was the most important battle in our country's history since it led to us becoming a country in the first place. All right, I'd like to thank our teachers, staff, and especially our students for taking the SAT and PSAT yesterday. We observed hundreds of you taking the test very seriously, and we believe that those who did will benefit from this opportunity provided by your school district to ensure that all students have an opportunity to keep their doors to college options open. Special shout out to Mr. Lee, a student teacher with Mr. Parra, who jumped into Proctor for us at the last minute, to the fantastic folks in our cafeteria who found a way to stay open late to feed our seniors lunch, and to Ms. Gibbs, who put in an enormous amount of hours preparing for this exam, and she's still over there right now working away and getting all your answer docs ready to be shipped back to College Board. All right, let's go to Brian. He's got today's Falcon Flash.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Osama. And now here's today's Falcon Flash. Today is a great California shakeout. At 10:17 this morning, Valley will join 10.7 million Californians in preparing for an earthquake with a drop and cover drill. At 10:17, there will be an announcement that we are experiencing an earthquake. At that point, you should drop to the ground, get under something sturdy like your desk, and hold on to the desk legs. Remain in place until you are instructed to evacuate, and then head calmly to our evacuation locations out on the blacktop basketball courts. Let's go to Mario Lopez, who has a little bit more for us.
Do you know how to protect yourself when an earthquake strikes? Hey, I'm Mario Lopez, and in California, earthquakes can strike anytime. So, practicing earthquake safety is a good idea for everyone. Join us along with millions of Californians to learn how to drop, cover, and hold on during the Great Shakeout. We're all in this together, so make sure your home, workplace, school, and community are planning a shakeout.
Join us for the Great Shakeout. Learn more at shakeout.org. Shakeout Day is October.
Ooh. Big shout out to Mario for giving us that information. Now, this week is National School Lunch Week. If you don't typically have school lunch, we would like for you to come have lunch with us this week in the cafeteria. Nutrition Services will be raffling 5 movie theater gift cards. All you need to do is come have lunch on Thursday, October 17th. That's today. And make sure you enter your ID number correctly in the keypad, and you will be automatically entered into the raffle. Good luck to you all. Reminder to everyone about Yearbook through treering.com, and for the seniors for Grad Bash at Universal Studios. Both items have saving deals through the end of this month. Prices on yearbooks and Grad Bash tickets go up on November 1st. So make sure you get those things. Now, congratulations to our JV girls volleyball team who finished their season 8-2 with the title of Orange League champions.
Woo! Yeah.
Let's go. All those burpees and suicides really paid off. Congratulations to Coach Wynn and all the girls on the team. We have a little more for you guys.
My name is Coach Wynn. I've been coaching volleyball for about 10 years now. This team has resiliency, and they haven't given up at all. I'm really surprised at how they performed so far. This year, I feel like they've improved in hitting and passing. Serving is our big strength as well. Overall, I think this team is pretty great. Our overall record now is 13-5 and 4-1 in league. I'm Coach Wynn, and shout out to my girls JV team.
Congratulations, y'all. Now, Mr. Shimasaki's psychology class is studying phobias. It's a good thing that none of them suffer from cyberphobia, the fear of computers, since that was their main source for research. Thank you to Mr. Shimasaki for sending this in. If you have tomorrow's picture of the day, send it to Mr. Rosama for a chance to be featured on the Falcon Flash. Now, Ms. Rosama.
All right. I want to remind all Falcons that being on time to class shows respect to your classmates, yourself, your education, and your teacher. Make the effort, and you will see improvement in your grades and your reputation. Form good habits that last a lifetime. Be on time every time. All right, that's our show for today. But before we go, let's take a moment to send out some birthday greetings. I'll put on my birthday hat here, and which these people have birthdays. Oh, I got to put it on backwards there.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Everyone should stop by 8-3 today to wish a happy birthday to Miss Garcia Ortiz, one of our fantastic counselors. And while you're at it, find all of these students who share that special day with her. There's the freshman up there at the screen now. Happy birthday to all of y'all.
All right. And that's it for today's Falcon Flash. And remember,
Falcon Fever. Catch it.